Hey, what's going on, guys? Today is solution day, and I had some activity about the worker job time problem, which is a construction company was hired to build a tool shed. The company sends 5 workers: Paul, Sam, Mary, Abby, and Rick. Each worker is skilled in installing either planks or tiles. The following table shows the rate per hour at which of these workers install either tiles or planks. So we have a chart of who does what and how fast. Paul works, and in 1 hour he can install 10 planks, but he can only install 6 tiles. Sam can install 8 planks and 8 tiles. Mary, 6 planks and 10 tiles, and so forth. Building the shed requires 100 planks and 60 tiles installed in no particular order, meaning they're not interdependent. They can be worked on in parallel. If the construction company charges $100 per hour flat rate regardless of the number of workers, what is the least amount of money, cheapest estimate required to build the shed? Now, these kind of questions are very popular with banking tests or engineering tests. These are worker job time optimization, and they're quite fun to do. The thing to know for these kind of questions is if I build a wall in 1 day and my friend Joe builds a wall in 1 day, if we're both building the wall together, is it going to be 2 days? No, that's not. The time will be half. So more people, less time. That's the most common mistake people make with these kind of questions. When there's more people working, it's going to take less time. So for a optimization question, a lot of you attempted this, and some of you got close, but the best attempt I had was from someone who actually took a running average of the thing and said, hey, all of these are 40 planks and 40 tiles, so if you have all of them work, the ratio is, the average is about 8, right? 8 planks, 40 planks per hour, which means average is 8 per person. So if you put them all at work at one, and then again, yeah, it will get done, and you're getting a flat average rate that would lead to the incorrect answer of 400, but that was the best attempt so far. But in this case, questions like these, if you take a running average, then your result will be average, but you have to do better than average on this, because you see, Paul is good at installing planks, and Paul is not so good at installing tiles, so it's not good to have Paul work on tiles at all. So for a question like this, you want your best workers doing your best job possible to optimize these kind of problems. So I see that Paul and Rick, they have really good rates. So what you want to do is do better than average. We know that the average, if everybody works on the same task, your task will get done, and it's almost 8 per person or 40 per hour together. Yeah. So you want to do better. You want to do better than average for something like this. So what would you like to do is, there's 2 ways to do is Paul and Rick, let's say P and R, and Sam. Let's say we've got 10 rate, Rick is 9, and Sam is 8. Okay. They're working on planks. They're working on planks. So I've got my best workers that way. So they're working on planks. And then I have Mary and Abby working on tiles. Okay, so that seems to be a good combination to do. Whether it's the best or not, we won't know that yet until we move Sam to this side and see Sam is the wild card here. Will that be a better rate? But we know that we don't want them all working at the same task at the same time, because you have wasted potential. Because if Paul is wasting his time working on tiles, that's wasted potential. So we don't want that. So for the best optimization, we need our best workers working on the best tasks. So for this case, so what will be the rate of tiles? 19 per hour. So there's 60 tiles. So 60 divided by 19. Okay, so that's how much longer it will take that time it will take to install 60 tiles. In that time, how many planks will be installed while Mary and Abby are working parallel. So during that time, I have a going rate of 27, 9 plus 8 plus 10, that is 27 planks per hour. So if I multiply this by 27, that's how many planks are being installed at the same time tiles are being installed. So what's left? What's left would be 100 minus 60 divided by 19 times 27. So these guys will get done faster. So these guys will be done in 60 divided by 19 time, and then we can allocate these guys to work on planks. So the tiles will be done, and then we can allocate Mary and Abby to go with planks. So then how long it's going to take? So all of them together will now work for the remaining tile. So our time 60 over 19 has elapsed, and then we're left with whatever's left. Everybody's going to work on it together. So 60 by 19 times 27 divided by all of them together will be 40. Okay, so all of them together will be 40. If you calculate that, your answer will be about 3.52. So 3.52 hours, everything will be done. Now you see that's already better than average rate, because if we put everybody to work on one task, you would have 4 hours, right? So you're already getting a better rate. Now we just have to make sure that if I put Sam to work on tiles instead, will that be a worse rate or not? So follow the same example, you will find that it would be a worse rate. So all we would really do is make sure that our best workers, Paul and Rick and Mary and Abby, are working on the tasks that are good at. And that's the way we can minimize the time needed. So 3.52 rate of $100 per hour, $352. So that's the answer. That's how you approach a optimization question for worker job time. So practice some of these. These are quite common in many tests, especially GREs and banking tests. SAT would probably also put something like this in a different way, where they could say Paul and Sam working together, how fast will the task come those, something like that. So just practice. These are common problems, worker job time, and they get quite tricky. So that's it for today's session, and feel free to send me a message if you want another question answered. Go through my Facebook wall and see if there's a question that appeals to you. And I'm actually liking some of you are very proactive about questions, even if you find something confusing or it feels too hard. These questions are hard. They're designed to be hard for a reason, because these questions are something that more than 99% of the students get wrong on some of the famous tests. So it's important to understand how to solve these kind of questions, because I'm not overly concerned with the easier questions at this time, because that is your practice that you do on a daily basis. Those questions you can find in any textbook, any kind of book, but these you won't find in many places. They are rare questions, and they're just not taught very much. So that's why my compilation is of questions that are hard, but they're based on simple concepts. And once you understand those concepts, you can understand questions like that. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching.